I was in a very small fender bender in LA. And I remember at that moment, like everything slowed down for me. And it's just like I hit the corn. It was just like so many things felt like the time slowed down for me. And it was just like I kind of maneuvered the car in a certain way and kind of made it so it was just like a very small fender bender rather than a huge accident. And I remember being on the phone with the insurance company and she's like, I'm like telling her the story and she's kind of being like snarky with me. Like all of this happened in a matter of 10 seconds and you can recall it. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you what happened. And I was just like, okay, whatever. She thinks I'm lying, but okay, whatever. Because it clearly wasn't my fault anyway. And I remember telling my coach this story too. I was late for practice that day and I was explaining to my coach why I was late. And I guess the amount of detail that I recalled in that moment, it was less than 10 seconds, probably a split, like a second. And him just saying, oh, because you have that clutch gene. And I'm just like, okay, like whatever. But I guess it reminded me of being a little girl too. So I do think some people are born with it. And I guess if that's one thing I guess I'll own up to, I do feel like I've always been that way as a child. When things got difficult, I always felt the pressure. I always felt the nerves, but I always pushed through anyway. And it was just so funny because I think as a child, I used to win a lot of races. But for whatever reason, I always felt like I got lucky. Like I felt like I got lucky when I ran that race. Or I was just telling them, oh, I got lucky. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized how much that ability to push through nerves makes a difference. Because as a young child, I never truly wasn't always the fastest. I always worked hard, but I never really was the fastest, but I always somehow would win a lot of races. And for me, I didn't realize until I got older it was because of my ability to work well under pressure. So it wasn't never that, like as a child though, you think about that, it's just like, oh, I get lucky.